once again, everybody. Welcome to SFF180, and it's Monday Mailbag for November 25th, 2013. How are you guys doing? I'm doing fine. We have just had our actual first serious cold snap of the season hit us in Austin this week. Of course, all my friends, I have all these friends who live up north in like Canada and Norway and places like that. And they're like, hey, you Texans, you think it's so cold. That's not cold. Come up here where I am. I'm out sunbathing on the back of my Mammoth, and it's negative 35°C. And you know what? Fine. Just enjoy that. That's great. But it's cold enough for me down here, and it's perfect sitting around in the house in your pajamas reading books weather, I think. So, look, here's the mail for this week. It's a bit of a wobbly, ungainly stack, but healthy batch of stuff, so we'll dig right into it, shall we? And this first one is a hardcover of some nature from, again, my good friends at Penguin. Ah, yes, the inimitable Harry Turtledove returns with the latest in his disaster series, Super Volcano, Things Fall Apart. You know, Harry Turtledove, Book of the Month Club, never disappoints, and he's back. Man, this man cranks out books like you wouldn't believe. The first book in this series, I remember getting some time ago, which I haven't read this series yet, but it was called something like Super Volcano Eruption. I was like, what a very helpful title that is, right? Because it really lets you know that something is going to happen in this book, right? I mean, who would buy a book called Super Volcano just sitting there? I mean, that wouldn't be very exciting. So Eruption really lets you know that things were going to get moving pretty quickly. And now this appears to be post-eruption because, you know, things fall apart. Things also probably burn to a crisp. But yeah, so if you like disaster novel action, Harry Turtledove appears to be delivering the goods with this series. And yeah, if you'd like for me to get into these books and check them out for you, as usual, let me know in the comments. Super Volcano, Things Fall Apart. And St. Martin's Press sent me this one. Usually the books that I get from St. Martin's tend to be like thrillers and things like close to horror. Oh, the author of this is a fellow named Dave Swavely. And well, it's called Kaleidocide. A post-earthquake San Francisco is governed by a private corporation called Bay Area Security Services, BASS as the acronym, in Dave Swavely's debut, Silhouette. Okay, so this appears to be a sequel to that book then. BASS, or BASE if you are musically inclined, has established and maintained order in the new city-state with a police force of peacers who have a license to kill. Now that's like a uniquely American way of defining peace, right? License to kill means I am a peacer. And the company has developed a cutting-edge anti-gravity technology that is sure to make its leader one of the most powerful men in the world. Michael Ares has recently inherited the throne of BASS, or Base, and immediately finds himself marked for assassination by an even more powerful world leader, the Chinese general Zhang Sun. Now, in Kaleidocide, Michael Ares must survive a series of assassination attempts to find out why he was destined to become one of the most powerful men in the world. Okay, so I guess you kind of have the measure of this book. So more of like a near-future techno-thriller sort of thing. But Silhouette, I guess, is the prequel to this book, and the new installment is titled Kaleidocide. I may very well have Silhouette laying around here. If you saw the stacks of books, I've got it. Be unreal. Kaleidocide. Oh, Prometheus books. So here's something from my good friends at Pyre. Oh, okay. Have already received the arc for this, but this is the latest in Mike Resnick's Western steampunk adventure with dinosaurs and all kinds of stuff. The Doctor and the Dinosaurs. Here you go. Mike Resnick's adventure for the steampunk lover in you. And good old Tor, once again, who has had books in every single episode of the Mailbag so far. That's right. That's good. You always want to know, if you're a writer, that your publisher is behind you. And, okay, this would seem to be the latest in a horror series by a lady named Trish McGregor. This is Apparition. And it would appear to be the sequel to a couple of books called Esperanza and Ghost Key. But it's a standalone, so it looks like you could read this all on its own without knowledge of the first two books, if you wished. So here's this, Apparition. Trish McGregor, it says, returns with Apparition on sale November 12th. So it's out. the latest heart-pounding book in the series that begins with Esperanza. Esperanza is a mythic, magical city populated by spiritual guardians called light chasers, as well as humans and ageless shape-shifters, and the chilling brujos, hungry ghosts that seek to regain the sensation of living by possessing human bodies. So, it is horror, but more of along the lines of dark fantasy type thing, because we're dealing with mythical cities and what have you. Years have passed since FBI agent Tess Livingston faced down the body-snatching brujos, which threatened to invade Earth from the beyond. Tess and Ian have made a life together with their families in Esperanza. They thought they could rest, that they had defeated the brujo threat to our plane of existence, but they were wrong. And thus, we are treated to apparition. Very gorgeous and sexy cover design, as usual, from Irene Gallo and the people at Tor. Apparition by Trish McGregor, out now. Okay, so looking like a pretty nice week so far. As usual, if you're new to Monday Mailbag, and if you're not, just a reminder, what you do is in the comments, let me know which of the books that I have received in this week's batch you would like for me to prioritize in the review queue. Both for here in SFF180 and the sfreviews.net website. And here we are. Here's something that a lot of folks have been looking forward to. This is the new Gene Wolfe, The Land Across. Okay, I will confess right here, Gene Wolfe is a writer that my readers for years and years and years and years have been bugging me and getting on my case about, why isn't there more Gene Wolfe on your website? You need more Gene Wolfe reviews. I'm fully cognizant of this. It's been a big slip up on my part. In fact, the one Gene Wolfe review that I have up there, I need to reread and redo, because I did many, many years ago. I don't think, when I was not nearly as good at what I'm doing as I am today, in my personal opinion. And so I need to reread that book and give a reevaluation of it, and just a much more well-written review. And that would be the first of the Wizard Knight books, and also I have the Book of the New Sun tetralogy, that classic series with Shadow of the Torture and what have you. I've got that sitting in there, all of which I think really deserve good retrospective reviews on my site. And so this could be a good opportunity to get caught up with that sort of thing, because The Land Across is now out, Gene's new book, so let me know what you would like me to do vis-a-vis Gene Wolfe on the site. Let's have a look really quickly, see what this is all about. From Sifwa Grandmaster and inductee to the Science Fiction Hall of Fame, Gene Wolfe, comes a thrilling and genre-bending new novel, The Land Across, which is on sale tomorrow, November 26. An American writer of travel guides in need of a new location chooses to travel to a small and obscure Eastern European country. The moment Grafton crosses the border, he is in trouble, much more than he could have imagined. His passport is taken by guards, and then he is detained for not having it. Sounds like he's just trying to come from Canada to the U.S. He is released into the custody of a local family, tasked with keeping him prisoner in their home. But soon he is taken away by a mysterious organization. It becomes evident that there are supernatural agencies at work, but they are not in some ways as threatening as the brute forces of bureaucracy and corruption in the country. This appears to be a very metaphorically rich modern fantasy, perhaps offering a certain degree of political commentary on the times, just saying. Is our hero, in fact, a spy for the CIA, or is he an innocent citizen caught in a Kafkaesque trap? In The Land Across, Gene Wolfe keeps us guessing until the very end and after. Well, here it is, The Land Across, Gene Wolfe. Ooh, and here is a biggie from Tor. Let's have a look at it. It's a box, and look what I remembered to bring. This time, remember, box knife. Didn't remember it last time. So, let me put on my psychic hat. I'm going to predict that this box contains either a new theme anthology that has been getting a whole lot of buzz lately from the editing team of Gardner Dozois and George R.R. Martin, called Dangerous Women. It's going to either be that book, or there is a remote chance that this could be an arc of Brandon Sanderson's Words of Radiance. Most likely the anthology. I haven't heard any news to the effect. Nobody is making noise to the effect that any of the Sanderson arcs have gotten out there yet. So, but we'll see, shall we? Let's dig in. All right. My psychic powers have not failed me. Makes my record at least as good, probably a lot better than that of Sylvia Browne. Like I said, Dangerous Women. It's here. That's a very shiny gold book. Check it out. Okay, so what is this anthology all about? This is a chunky one. Look at that. Look at that bad boy. Tor presents a stellar collection of new work from some of the best-selling authors of our day, including a new George R.R. Martin story from the world of Game of Thrones. So maybe something to tide you over until Winds of Winter. Writes Gardner Dozois in his introduction for Dangerous Women, "Here you'll find no hapless victims who stand by whimpering in dread, while the male hero fights the monster or clashes swords with the villain. And if you want to tie these women to the railroad tracks, you'll find you'll have a real fight on your hands. Instead, you'll find sword-wielding women warriors, intrepid women fighter pilots, and far-ranging space women. Deadly female serial killers, formidable female superheroes, sly and seductive femmes fatales, female wizards, and hard-living bad girls, female bandits and rebels, embattled survivors in post-apocalyptic futures, female private investigators, stern female hanging judges, haughty queens who rule nations and whose jealousies and ambitions send thousands to grisly deaths, daring dragon riders, and many more." It is kind of a shame that, in 2013 we still have to make a big deal of having, oh, look, we have women in our stories and they're not shrinking violets. How innovative. But I guess just entrenched sexist attitudes are very hard to put behind us as a culture. Yeah, so as a result, you get dangerous. This seems to me like this would be something that be interesting to know what approach someone like Ellen Datlow might have taken to an anthology like this. But we'll just have a look at the... the lead story is by Joe Abercrombie. There you go. Cecilia Holland has a story in this. Melinda Snodgrass, Jim Butcher, Joe Lansdale, Megan Lindholm, Brandon Sanderson, Lev Grossman, Nancy Kress, Diana Rowland, Diana Gabaldon, Sherilyn Kenyon, S.M. Sterling, Pat Cadigan, George, of course, has one. And, well, that's it? Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's not a huge number of writers. And some of the stories appear to be like novella length. So, all right, if you like your women dangerous, and but you don't want them actually hurting you, you'd prefer them in story form, well then, here you go. Dangerous Women, an epic anthology from Martin and Dozois and Tor. But this is from the Hachette group, which means that if I can ever get into this thing, there will be an Orbit title waiting for me. Oh, this is... Have a look at Malice, everyone. Book by John Gwynne. Malice. Look at that. A gritty epic fantasy debut. Malice by John Gwynne. Kirkus Reviews calls it a Middle-Earthish extravaganza with all the usual thrills, chills, spills, and frills. There's plenty of action. I really don't like it when reviewers, a sentence like that is the sort of thing a reviewer writes specifically to be pull-quoted. Seems kind of cheesy. I don't like to do that. All right, Corbin wants nothing more than to be a warrior under King Brennan's rule to protect and serve, but that day will come all too soon, and the price he pays will be in blood. Evnus has sacrificed too much, it seems, but what he wants, the power to rule, will soon be in his grasp, and nothing will stop him once he has started on its path. Veritas is the newest member of the warband for the High Prince, Nathair. He is one of the most skilled swordsmen to come out of his homeland, yet he is always under the shadow of his older brother. Nathair has ideas and a lot of plans. Many of them don't involve his father, the High King Aquilus, nor does he agree with his father's idea to summon his fellow kings to council. The Banished Lands has a violent past where armies of men and giants clashed in battle, but now giants stir anew, stones weep blood, and there are sightings of giant worms with a Y, so those are the really bad kind of worms. Those who can still read the signs see a threat far greater than the ancient wars, for if the Black Sun gains ascendancy, mankind's hopes and dreams will fall to dust. Well, there it is then. Malice, a debut novel by John Gwynne. Let me know. Last but by no means least, one more Orbit title. Okay, and this is the third in a series of books. The first two volumes I have received. This is Last to Rise by Francis Knight. It is third in a series called, or about the character Rojan Dazan. And a force has awoken in the depths. The towering vertical city of Mahala is on the brink of war with its neighboring countries. It might be his worst nightmare, but Rojan and the few remaining pain mages have been drafted in to help. First two books in this series were Fade to Black and Before the Fall. This is now Last to Rise, so if you would like for me to catch up on the Francis Knight books, I've been wanting to read them. I think they look kind of spiffy. Francis Knight, here we are. It is now out from Orbit. Okay, everyone, as always, thank you very much. That's all the books we have this week, 8 of them, but it looks like a really good solid week this time. So let me know in the comments which of these you'd like for me to prioritize. And as always, please, please, please leave a like, share the video with your friends, subscribe if you haven't done so, get all of your SFF reading friends to subscribe, help the channel grow. I will have some more announcements next Monday about what's coming up in terms of both the channel and the sfreviews.net website, some plans in the works. And if you are among my American viewers / readers and you are going to celebrate Thanksgiving this weekend, then I hope you have a very enjoyable and safe holiday. Until I see you next time, once again, happy reading.